Welcome to Midnight Physicist. As the world around you slowly fades into the quiet of the night, your senses begin to soften. The once vibrant sounds of the day, the bustling world outside, the rush of thoughts in your mind, all of it becomes a distant hum. You close your eyes, and with each passing moment, the weight of your body grows lighter. The worries, the tasks, the to-do lists fade into the background, swallowed by the deep, silent pull of sleep. In this space, you are neither here nor there. Time stretches, expanding in slow waves, each second like the gentle lap of waves on the shore. There's no need for urgency, no need for your mind to race. You are not yet asleep, but you are no longer fully awake. You are in the in-between, a soft space where the lines between reality and imagination blur, where the world you know gives way to the vast unknown dot in the quiet. Your breath becomes your only anchor, its rhythm steady and sure. You can almost hear the soft echo of your heartbeat, a slow pulse, reassuring, steady. The world around you is silent, but within, a storm of soft thoughts begins to stir. You are aware of it, this gentle motion in the dark. It pulls you deeper into the stillness, towards something just beyond your reach. And then, like the first stirrings of wind on a still morning, you feel it, the faintest brush against your awareness, as if something has shifted in the space around you. A whisper, barely perceptible, yet undeniable. It's a call, an invitation to explore, to leave behind the constraints of waking life. Could it be that this moment, this quiet space between wakefulness and sleep, is not simply a transition, but a doorway? The thought is delicate, almost fleeting, but it lingers in the air, shimmering like a soft light. Your body is still, your mind is calm, yet there is something stirring deep inside. What if dreams are more than just random thoughts and fleeting visions? What if they are something far more profound? What if they are not a mere escape, but a pathway, a gateway to something beyond the boundaries of your own mind, a bridge to a world far larger than you have ever imagined? As you drift deeper into this quiet space, your body relaxing even further, your mind remains awake, alert, aware, but no longer anxious. There is no rush to fall asleep, no frantic desire to close your eyes. Instead, there is a quiet acceptance, a gentle surrender to whatever might unfold. In this space, time loses its grip. Your mind, free from the constraints of the body, begins to stretch outward like the vast sky before a storm, like the endless ocean before it meets the horizon. Could these dreams, these fleeting images that appear in the silence of the night, be more than just reflections of your inner world? Could they be glimpses of something larger, something that exists beyond the confines of your own experience? Could they be windows into parallel universes, where other versions of yourself are living lives you can only imagine? You have often wondered if dreams are just your subconscious working through the events of the day. But now, in this quiet, still moment, the possibility of something more emerges. There is a sense, a quiet intuition, that something deeper is at play. The dreams you experience, the vivid, strange, sometimes confusing worlds that unfold in the dark of night, could they be more than mere fantasies of your mind? Could they be invitations, soft whispers from a reality just beyond your own? A world where the rules are different, where you are not bound by time or space. The thought flutters by again, gentle as the breeze. Could your dreams be a way for your mind to touch the infinite? Could they be the doorway to parallel universes, where every decision you make creates a new path, a new reality? What if, in each dream, you are not just exploring your own subconscious, but also the lives of countless versions of yourself, living out different fates in alternate worlds? As you slip deeper into the peaceful embrace of sleep, the idea seems less like a thought and more like a knowing, a truth that is just beyond the surface, waiting to be understood. In the quiet space between sleep and wakefulness, the boundaries of reality seem to dissolve, leaving you with a sense of infinite possibility. You begin to wonder if dreams are indeed gateways to parallel universes. Then who are you, really? Are you the version of yourself you know in this life? Or are you something much larger, much more connected to the vast web of existence? For a moment, the question hangs in the air, and then the world around you softens even more, like the slow unfurling of petals in the first light of dawn. The pull of sleep is gentle now, but it is no longer something to fear. Instead, it feels like a gentle guide leading you toward a world you have only begun to understand. As you breathe deeply, surrendering to the rhythm of your own pulse, you allow yourself to be carried into the dream. You feel the soft tug once more, the invitation to explore, to journey beyond the veil of the known. And in that soft space, you are left with a thought that lingers as you drift away. Perhaps, just perhaps, this dream, like all the others, is not just a fantasy. Perhaps it is the doorway to a deeper understanding, to the infinite possibilities that lie just beyond the veil of our waking world. You awaken in the quiet of your dream. The world around you is soft, gently shifting in hues and shapes that feel both familiar and strange. It is a world of your own making, yet there is something about it that feels like a reflection of something larger, something beyond your own mind. In this world, there is no hurry. There is only the stillness that you carry with you from the waking world, now stretching out around you like a vast, open sky. The air feels cool and comforting against your skin, as if inviting you to rest here a little longer, to explore this quiet landscape. It's as if the very world itself is waiting for you to acknowledge it, to see the reflections within it. As you wander through the dreamscape, you begin to sense something deeper, something within you that is beginning to take shape in the stillness of this place. It's subtle at first, like the echo of a distant thought, but soon it grows clearer. You find yourself standing before a reflective surface, a mirror, but not the kind you would expect. It is not made of glass, nor is it polished to perfection. Instead, it shimmers in the soft light of the dream world, like a ripple on the surface of a pond, never quite still. You look into the mirror, and at first, you see yourself, but not in the way you would expect. The reflection is not exactly you. It is you, yes, but it is not quite you. The figure staring back at you has a sense of familiarity, yet there is something different about it. It feels like a version of yourself from another time, another place, a version that lives in a world where the choices you made are different, where paths diverged, and where things unfolded in ways you cannot fully grasp. What if this reflection is not merely a trick of your mind, but a glimpse into another life? What if this mirror is showing you a parallel version of yourself, a you that exists in another reality, living out a life shaped by different decisions? Could this dream, this quiet moment in the stillness of sleep, be showing you not just a reflection of your own mind, but a doorway to another world, another version of yourself? As you stand before the mirror, you begin to feel something stirring within you, an instinct, perhaps, or a deep, quiet knowing. The image of this other self in the mirror is not static. It shifts, as if it is not bound to time, but instead moves fluidly through it, like a cloud drifting across the sky. This version of you seems to have lived lives full of experiences that differ from your own. Perhaps they've chosen different paths, made different choices, and faced different challenges. And yet, there is a deep connection between you and this reflection, a bond that feels both comforting and unsettling. You begin to wonder, could the lives of parallel versions of yourself not just be reflections, but active, separate realities? Could your dreams be a bridge, a way for you to explore these alternate lives, to experience them from the inside? What if, in your sleep, you are not just revisiting memories or inventing fantasies, but accessing the lives of countless versions of yourself, each one living out a different fate in a different universe? You reach out to touch the mirror, your fingers brushing against its shimmering surface. It ripples under your touch, like water disturbed by the wind. The reflection of yourself in the mirror flickers, and for a moment, it feels as though the world around you is shifting, rearranging, as if it is waiting for something, waiting for you to step forward, to enter this parallel world and experience it for yourself. What would it be like, you wonder, to truly step into the life of another version of yourself, to live a life where the circumstances are different, the decisions altered? Could this mirror be the gateway to understanding who you are at a deeper level, a reflection of the infinite potential within you? And if you were to step through it, would you find yourself living in that world? Or would you only ever be an observer, forever watching from the other side? The thought lingers in the quiet of the dream, a soft pull that gently tugs at your awareness. The mirror stands before you, reflecting your gaze, offering an invitation to explore what lies beyond, a parallel world, a parallel life, a reflection of your deepest possibilities. As you stand there, contemplating this invitation, you realize that the mirror is not just showing you the version of yourself that exists in another world. It is showing you the infinite versions of yourself that could be. Perhaps this is the true nature of dreams, not just fleeting images or stories to entertain your mind, but a doorway to understanding the many facets of who you are, a gateway to the many lives you could have lived, the choices you could have made, the roads you could have taken. You take a slow breath, the air soft and cool as it fills your lungs. The reflection in the mirror remains, waiting for you to make your next move. And as you stand there, you are left with a quiet thought that lingers like a gentle echo in the stillness of the dream, perhaps. In this space between sleep and wakefulness, dreams are not just a product of your own mind. Perhaps they are the reflections of infinite possibilities, glimpses into the lives you could have lived if only you had chosen a different path. The dreamscape stretches out before you, endless and open. There are no boundaries, no fixed paths to follow, only the sense that every direction is a possibility, each step leading you to an infinite number of outcomes. As you walk through this vast, boundless space, you feel something shift within you. It's as though you are no longer just an observer in this world, but an active participant, a traveler whose every movement echoes through the fabric of this dream. With each step, the landscape changes subtly. A familiar place suddenly takes on a new hue, a new texture. You are walking through a world that bends and folds with every thought, every choice you make. The horizon ahead seems to stretch infinitely, and with each step, new possibilities unfold. Like doors opening in all directions, you begin to sense that each of these pathways represents a different version of your life, a different reality that exists simultaneously with your own. Could it be that the choices you make, the paths you follow in this dream, are not just figments of your imagination, but reflections of real worlds, real lives that exist in parallel to your own? You wonder if each time you take a step, you are not just exploring your own subconscious, but stepping into a new universe altogether, one where different versions of yourself are living out their own stories. Each direction you could take seems to lead to a new world. You pause, taking a moment to contemplate. If every decision creates a new path, a new reality, then could it be that your life is just one thread in a vast tapestry of infinite possibilities? Perhaps every choice you've made in your waking life, every decision, every turn, no matter how small, has created a ripple that echoes into countless parallel universes, each one with a different version of you, a different life. As you continue walking, the landscape shifts once more, now resembling a winding path through a dense forest. The trees are tall, their branches stretching far above, and the air is thick with the scent of earth and leaves. The path ahead is unclear, but you feel an undeniable pull, a sense that you are being guided in a certain direction, as though the path is being drawn out before you, just for you. The thought arises again. What if this is not just a dream, but a journey through the infinite possibilities that exist within you? What if, in this quiet space between waking and sleeping, you are not just wandering through your own imagination, but through the many lives you could have lived? Perhaps this is the true nature of dreams, to show you the paths you didn't take, the versions of yourself that exist in other worlds, living out their lives in ways you could never have imagined. You find yourself standing at a crossroads in the forest, the path splitting in two. One way leads deeper into the forest, the other toward an open meadow bathed in sunlight. Both paths feel inviting. Both seem to lead to something important. You take a deep breath and realize this is the moment. This is where choices are made, where the direction you choose could lead you into an entirely new life, an entirely new reality. And then, just as quickly as the thought comes, you realize something profound. In this world, in this dream, there are no wrong choices. Every path leads somewhere. Every decision creates a new world, a new version of you. It's as if the very act of choosing is what shapes the universe, what creates new realities. Each decision is like a brushstroke on the canvas of existence, painting new landscapes, new lives. The roads ahead are not just paths, they are the doors to infinite possibilities. You step forward, not toward one path, but toward both. You feel the space around you ripple as you move, the boundaries of reality bending and shifting with each choice you make. The air hums with possibility. The trees, the sky, the ground beneath your feet, everything is alive with the energy of creation. As though this dream is not just a reflection of your mind, but a living, breathing manifestation of all the possibilities that lie within you. With each step, the world changes again. The forest gives way to a vast desert, the air dry and warm, the sky a deep shade of blue. You are standing at the edge of a vast, endless stretch of sand, with the sun shining brightly overhead. The landscape is completely different, yet it feels just as familiar. As you stand there, you feel the pull of the desert, the endless horizon stretching out before you. Each grain of sand seems to represent a different possibility, a different world, a different version of you. And then the thought returns, clearer than before. What if every step you take in this dream, every path you choose, is leading you to a different version of yourself in a parallel universe? What if this is the journey of your soul, exploring the infinite roads that exist within you, stepping into the lives of countless other versions of yourself? You pause for a moment, taking it all in: the vast desert, the infinite horizon, the endless possibilities that stretch before you. It's both overwhelming and comforting, the thought that every choice you make here in this dream leads you to another world, another life. The desert feels eternal, the horizon endless. You realize that the path ahead of you is not just a choice between two roads, but a choice between infinite worlds, each one waiting for you to step into it. As the dream continues to unfold, you realize that the true nature of this journey is not just about exploring the landscapes around you, but exploring the infinite paths that exist within you. The lives you could have lived, the choices you could have made, they are all here, waiting for you to discover them. Each step you take is a journey through the many possibilities of who you could be. The world around you is not just a reflection of your mind, but a mirror of the infinite versions of yourself, each one living out a different fate, a different life. And with that thought, you are left with a quiet sense of wonder as you continue on your journey. The paths before you are infinite, the choices endless, and with each step, you are drawn closer to understanding something much larger than yourself, the infinite. In the quiet depths of your dream, you feel a strange sense of movement, yet everything around you remains still. There is a profound silence that surrounds you, one that speaks louder than any noise you've ever heard. It's the kind of silence that makes you feel as though the world is holding its breath, waiting for something to unfold. And then, within that silence, you begin to notice it, a gentle pull, an almost imperceptible force guiding you forward. As you walk through this still dreamscape, you realize you are not alone. There is a subtle presence around you, an energy that shifts and moves just out of reach, as though it's always been there, waiting for you to notice. It is not the presence of another person, but something more subtle, more elusive, like a shadow moving just beyond the edges of your awareness. Could these be other travelers, just like you, journeying through the dreams of parallel universes? Perhaps they are not seen, but they are here, moving through their own dreams, experiencing lives you could never touch. You pause, standing still in the dream for a moment, allowing yourself to sink into this quiet realization. What if, in every dream, there are others like you, silent travelers, moving through their own realities? Perhaps, in the vast web of existence, every soul has its own journey, its own set of dreams, each one unfolding in a different world, a different version of reality. You wonder if dreams are not just your personal experience, but shared spaces, a collective journey where countless other versions of you, each living out a different life, pass by their paths, briefly crossing yours in the silent darkness. You take another step, and as you do, you feel the presence of these travelers more strongly. It is as though the space around you is thick with their energy, swirling just beneath the surface, like currents in a deep ocean. These travelers, invisible yet ever-present, are moving through their own realities, just as you are moving through yours. Perhaps they are experiencing the same dream, or perhaps they are wandering in their own parallel worlds, disconnected from yours, yet still connected in some way through the very nature of existence itself. In this moment, you begin to realize something profound. These travelers, though unseen, are not separate from you. They are part of the same web of reality, just as you are. You are all journeying through the same space, the same dream, but from different angles, different versions of existence. The dream world is not just a place where you exist alone. It is a space where countless versions of yourself, living out different lives, move through it in their own quiet ways. It is as if the very fabric of the dream world is woven with the paths of all these travelers, each one stepping softly through the quiet, unnoticed by the others, but still sharing the same vast space. What if these silent travelers are not just random fragments of your mind, but actual echoes of other versions of yourself, living out alternate realities in parallel universes? Could it be that in each dream you are touching the lives of these travelers, crossing paths with them in a way that you cannot fully comprehend? In this space, there is no distinction between the dreamer and the dream. You and the other travelers are intertwined like threads woven into a single tapestry, each one creating ripples that affect the others. The thought begins to settle within you, quiet yet powerful. Perhaps in the dream world, we are all travelers in parallel universes, each one of us moving through our own reality, unaware of the others, but all connected through the very fabric of existence. The silent travelers are not ghosts or figments of the imagination, but part of the same cosmic dance, each one moving through their own path, yet all part of the same larger whole. The dream world is not just your own. It is shared by countless versions of yourself, each one of them quietly passing through the dreamscape, unaware of your presence, yet forever connected in the silent dance of the universe. You continue to walk through the dream, now with a deeper sense of understanding. The travelers around you, though unseen, are always there. They are the echoes of parallel worlds, the unspoken reflections of the infinite paths that you could have taken. As you move, you sense their presence, not in the way you would sense another person, but in a deeper, more profound way, as if you are part of the same eternal journey, walking through the endless expanse of the universe together, each on your own path, yet all connected by the same thread of existence. With each step you take, you feel the dreamscape shift, the boundaries of time and space bending as the silent travelers pass through their own lives, just as you pass through yours. You are all moving in sync, though you do not share the same experience. And yet, there is a sense of peace in knowing that you are not alone in this journey, that, in some quiet, cosmic way, you are traveling with others, each one experiencing a different version of the universe, a different version of yourself. As you continue forward, you begin to wonder if dreams are the shared space of these silent travelers? Could they be glimpses into the infinite paths that exist beyond the confines of your own life? Could these parallel realities be intertwined in ways we cannot yet understand? Each version of yourself living out its own story, all part of the same greater journey. And with that thought, the dream deepens, and you are left with a quiet understanding that in this vast, boundless space of existence, we are all travelers, moving through parallel worlds, walking softly through the same silent, infinite dance. The dream begins to shift once again, this time pulling you gently into a space between what is real and what is imagined. It feels as though you are no longer fully in the dream, nor are you in the waking world. Instead, you find yourself suspended in a quiet limbo, a place where the boundaries of time, space, and self begin to dissolve. The air around you feels soft, as if it holds the weight of possibilities waiting to unfold. You stand at the edge of this liminal space, the world around you a blur of colors and shapes that seem to pulse with a life of their own. You can sense the presence of both the real and the imagined, like the soft humming of a tuning fork that vibrates between two frequencies. Here, nothing is fixed. There is no direction, no clear path, only the feeling that you are caught between two realities. In this space, you wonder, where am I? It's as if you are standing on the threshold of two worlds, a bridge between them, unable to fully enter either. The pull of the waking world tugs at you, but the dream world holds you gently in its embrace, keeping you just out of reach of full clarity. You are not awake, not yet asleep, but somewhere in between. This is a space where time bends and curves like the flowing of a river, moving slowly but without end. There is no hurry here, only a sense of quiet unfolding. The dream, once so vivid and certain, now feels distant, as if you are looking at it through a misted window, only partially able to see its details. And yet, within this haze, there is something comforting, something familiar. You are not lost, though you do not yet know where you are. You are simply suspended in the vastness of possibility, waiting for the world to reveal itself. You feel a soft pull, not from any external force, but from within, a gentle nudge to move forward, to step through this space, to see what lies beyond. The boundary between the two worlds is thin here, like the surface of water, so delicate that the slightest touch could break it. Could it be that this space, this in-between world, is the very place where parallel universes collide, where the boundaries between them are at their most fluid? You begin to wonder, what if this space is not just a pause between wakefulness and sleep, but the very meeting point of countless realities? Perhaps, in this place, you are standing on the threshold of many different versions of yourself, each one existing in a different universe, each one waiting to step into their own world. The possibilities seem endless, and yet there is no sense of urgency, no pressure to choose one path over another. You are simply here, existing in this quiet moment between worlds. As you move through this space, you realize that the very nature of this limbo feels different from any dream you have experienced before. It is as if the dream itself is not bound by the usual rules, not confined to the limits of time or space. Instead, it seems to stretch outward, encompassing all possibilities at once, like a web of interconnected worlds, each one an extension of the next. In this space, The dream world is not a singular place, but a vast network of infinite realities, each one overlapping with the other, each one branching out from the same central point, your consciousness. The thought strikes you softly. Could this be the true nature of dreams? Could they be the threads that connect all the versions of yourself across parallel universes, linking them together in a quiet dance of possibility? Perhaps, in this space, you are not just a passive observer, but an active participant in the creation of these worlds. Each step you take, each decision you make, weaving new threads into the vast tapestry of existence. You pause again, standing still in this in-between world. The pull toward the waking world grows stronger, but you are not quite ready to return. There is still so much to explore, so many possibilities to uncover. The boundaries between the dream and the waking world seem even thinner now, as if the veil between them is almost gone. Could it be that in this space, you are touching the edges of parallel universes, feeling the pulse of lives that could have been, that could still be? As you stand there, lost in thought, you realize that this space, this quiet limbo between worlds, is not just a place of uncertainty. It is a place of great potential, a place where anything is possible. Here, the rules of reality are no longer fixed. Time, space, and self are all malleable, shifting with every thought, every intention. You are not bound by the past, not restricted by the future. In this space, you are free to explore, to create, to experience the infinite possibilities that lie within you. And as you drift further into this quiet space, you realize that dreams are not just a bridge to parallel worlds. They are the gateway to understanding the infinite potential of your own being. In this space between worlds, you can see the many versions of yourself that exist, all living out different lives in different realities. And in each of them, you are both the dreamer and the dreamed, both the creator and the created. With that thought, the dream begins to shift once again, as if the very space around you is unfolding, revealing new paths, new worlds to explore. The boundary between the waking and the dreaming world blurs even further. And for a moment, you are no longer sure where one ends and the other begins. You are caught in the web of infinite possibility, a traveler between worlds, moving through the space where all things are possible. The dream begins to deepen, and with it, the sensation of being drawn backward, or perhaps forward, through time. It's a subtle shift, almost imperceptible at first, but soon it becomes clear that you are no longer simply floating through a landscape of possibilities. You are moving through time itself, as though the dream is not just a place, but a thread that weaves through past, present, and future. The world around you shifts like the turning of a page, and you find yourself standing in a place that feels familiar, yet distant, as though you are seeing it through a fogged lens. It's a place you recognize from memory, a moment long past, but it is not exactly as you remember it. The people, the objects, the very air around you feel the same, but there is an intangible difference. It's as if you are witnessing this scene from another time, as if the world has shifted slightly, just enough to make you question if this is the past or a version of it that exists in a parallel universe. You reach out to touch the air, and the sensation is like the soft brushing of a forgotten memory. It's as though the moment you are in is both real and not real at the same time. The past, as you once knew it, seems to echo around you, not as a static memory, but as something alive, pulsing with energy, waiting to be understood. Could this dream, this moment, be more than just a flash from the past? Could it be a doorway into another version of the past, a parallel timeline where the choices you made in your waking life have taken different turns? You wonder if what you are experiencing is not just a dream, but an echo of a life you once lived, or perhaps a life that could have been, had you made different choices. As you move through this version of the past, you begin to feel the pull of another time, another moment. The air shifts again, and you find yourself standing at the crossroads of two timelines, one where things unfolded as you remember, and one where they unfolded differently. The sensation is almost dizzying, like being caught between two waves, each one pulling you in a different direction. You can feel the weight of both realities, each one a thread in the larger tapestry of time, and yet neither is fully real. Neither is fully you. You are left with the quiet realization that time, like the dream, is not fixed. It is a fluid, ever-shifting force, bending and weaving through the fabric of existence. Each choice you make, each path you take, creates ripples through time, altering the course of events in ways you may never fully understand. What if, in your dreams, you are not just revisiting the past, but experiencing alternate versions of it? What if, in each dream, you are stepping into a different timeline, living out the moments you never lived in your waking life? As the dream continues to unfold, you begin to notice something even more profound. These echoes of time are not just limited to your own life. They are connected to the lives of others, the lives of those you have encountered, the people who have crossed your path. Perhaps they, too, are living out their own parallel timelines, each one a reflection of the choices they've made. The idea of time begins to shift in your mind, no longer linear but cyclical, a web of interconnected moments that span across countless realities. You realize that every decision, every action, every thought has the power to create a new timeline, a new version of reality. What you once thought of as the past is not a fixed event, but a series of choices, each one branching out into infinite possibilities. Every moment you live is like a seed planted in the soil of time, growing into a new world, a new version of yourself, a new reality. As you move further into this dream, you begin to see these echoes more clearly, not just as fragments of the past, but as glimpses into the future as well. The timelines are not just one-way paths moving forward from the past into the present and beyond. They are loops, spirals, echoes that reverberate in both directions. You begin to wonder if, in your dreams, you are not only experiencing echoes of your past, but glimpses of what is yet to come. What if, in this space, time is not just a linear force, but a vast network of intersecting possibilities, each one waiting to be explored? You stand still for a moment, allowing the dream to wash over you. The past, the present, and the future swirl around you in a delicate dance, each one a reflection of the others. It is both beautiful and overwhelming, this realization that time is not fixed, that the past is not a shadow, but a living, breathing part of the universe. And then, just as you begin to understand the true nature of time, the dream shifts once more, pulling you forward into another moment, another echo. The present, as you know it, slips away, and you find yourself standing at the threshold of another reality, another version of time waiting to unfold as the world around you begins to fade. You are left with a single thought. Perhaps time is not a straight line, but a web of interconnected possibilities, each one waiting for you to step into it, to experience it, to live it. And in that moment, you realize that your dreams, these echoes across time, are not just glimpses of the past or future, but keys to understanding the infinite potential of existence itself. You stand at the threshold of a new dream, a gateway that seems to stretch before you like an open door, waiting to be stepped through. The air is heavy with possibility, and as you take a slow, deliberate breath, you feel the quiet pull to move forward. It is not a force that drags you, but a gentle invitation, like the soft whisper of a world just beyond your reach, calling you to cross the boundary between wakefulness and sleep. The world before you begins to shimmer, the edges softening and blurring as if it is still taking form, shaping itself around your thoughts. This is not a place that exists in the waking world, but a space where the rules of reality are different. Time is not linear here. Space is not fixed. Everything feels malleable, as though the dream itself is an unfolding story, and you are both the author and the reader. As you step forward, the landscape shifts with you. The ground beneath your feet seems to ripple like water disturbed by the gentlest touch. You realize in this moment that you are not simply walking through a dream, but stepping into it, participating in its creation. Every step you take forms the world around you, shaping the path forward, altering the direction of the dream. The space is not an empty canvas. It is a living, breathing entity, reacting to your thoughts and intentions, molding itself to your presence. Could this be the true nature of dreams? Not a passive experience, but an active participation in the creation of reality itself. You begin to feel a deeper sense of wonder as you realize that in this dream world, you are not bound by the limitations of the waking world. Here, you are free to shape your surroundings, free to explore the infinite possibilities that exist just beyond the veil of reality. As you continue forward, you notice something else. The dream world feels familiar, yet completely foreign. There are echoes of places you've been, faces you've seen, moments you've lived. But they are all altered, as though they exist in a parallel reality, one that mirrors your own, but is distinct in its differences. The people, the landscapes, the objects around you, they all have a sense of being both you and not you at the same time. It's as if the dream world is a reflection of your own mind, yet it holds the potential to be so much more, a space where every possibility can be explored. You pause for a moment, considering this new realization. What if this world, this dreamscape, is not simply a figment of your imagination? What if it is a portal, a gateway that leads to another reality, another version of yourself? Could this dream be a space where you are not just an observer, but a participant in the creation of countless parallel universes? What if, in this moment, you are standing at the doorway to infinite possibilities, each one a reflection of the choices you've made, the lives you could have lived, and the paths you have yet to explore? As you take another step, the feeling of the dream deepens. It's as if the space around you is pulling you forward, not with force, but with the quiet assurance that this is where you are meant to be. The boundaries of the dream world shift. Once more, like a fluid stream flowing toward an unknown destination. You are no longer just walking through a landscape. You are becoming part of it, a part of the infinite web of possibilities that stretches out before you. You look down and realize that your feet no longer touch solid ground. Instead, you are floating, moving effortlessly through the dreamscape, as though the laws of physics no longer apply. The sensation is freeing, like soaring through the sky, unbound by the weight of gravity or the constraints of the body. In this moment, you feel weightless, not just physically, but in every sense. The concerns of the waking world seem distant, far away, as though they belong to another lifetime, another version of yourself. You glance around, and the dreamscape has shifted once more. This time, it is not a familiar place, but a vast, open expanse, a void of pure possibility. The space around you is empty, but it is not barren. It is alive, brimming with the potential for creation, waiting for you to shape it. And in that stillness, you realize that you are not just traveling through the dream. You are the dreamer, the creator, the architect of this world. The idea strikes you like a sudden revelation. What if dreams are not just a place where your mind retreats during sleep? What if they are the very gateways to parallel universes, where you are not just exploring other versions of yourself, but actively shaping them? Could it be that, in this dream, you are both the observer and the creator? Both the one who dreams and the one who lives the dream? As you float through the dream, you feel a deep sense of peace, of knowing that you are part of something far greater than yourself. This dream, this gateway, is not just a space for escape, but a doorway to infinite worlds. Each one a reflection of the choices you make, the paths you follow, and the person you are becoming. In this world, you are free to create, to explore, and to live out every possibility that exists within you. And in that quiet, expansive space, you are left with the thought that lingers softly as you drift further into the dream. Perhaps the greatest gift of dreams is not just the chance to escape, but the opportunity to step through the gateway to another world, another version of yourself, and experience the infinite possibilities that lie waiting just beyond the veil of sleep. The dream begins softly, like the first light of dawn stretching across the sky, but this time the sensation is different. As you move through the dreamscape, there's a weightlessness that fills your entire being, as though the gravity of the waking world no longer holds any sway over you. Your body feels light, almost ethereal, as if you are floating on a gentle breeze that carries you effortlessly through the dream. There is no friction beneath your feet, no ground to anchor you, only the sensation of movement, of gliding through a vast, open expanse. It is a strange feeling, this weightlessness, as if you are no longer tethered to the physical world. In this moment, you are free from the constraints of the body, unbound by time or space. There is no heaviness, no effort, only the soft, fluid motion of your journey through this dream. You are suspended, floating in a vast ocean of possibility, carried forward by an invisible current that guides you without force or direction. With each gentle movement, you feel yourself rising higher, your body becoming lighter, as though you are slowly being lifted off the ground, soaring through the dream with no effort at all. The sensation is soothing, almost meditative, like the feeling of being cradled in the arms of the universe, free to explore the infinite spaces around you. And yet, as you float, you begin to wonder, What if this weightlessness is more than just a feeling? What if it's a reflection of something deeper, something beyond the dream itself? Could this sensation of freedom, of floating through the dream, be a glimpse into the nature of the universe itself, a space where the boundaries of time and space are not fixed, where everything exists in a state of fluidity, of constant motion? The thought lingers in the stillness of the dream, and as you float higher, the dreamscape around you begins to shift. The once familiar surroundings dissolve into an open sky, endless and infinite, like a canvas that stretches far beyond your reach. The world beneath you seems to vanish, replaced by a vast expanse of stars, each one a tiny spark of light in the darkness. You are no longer bound to the earth, no longer confined by the limits of your body. Instead, you are weightless, free to drift among the stars, to explore the cosmos in its infinite vastness. You pause for a moment, suspended in the void, and feel a sense of peace settle over you. There are no goals here, no destinations to reach, only the quiet journey through the vastness of the universe. It's as if you are not just observing the stars, but becoming one with them, each spark of light a part of you, a reflection of the infinite possibilities that exist within this vast space. In this weightless journey, you realize that you are not just drifting through the dream, but traveling through time and space, through the very fabric of the universe. Could it be that this sensation of floating is a glimpse into the nature of parallel universes, where time is not linear and space is not fixed, where every possibility exists simultaneously, like stars scattered across the night sky? As you drift, the stars around you begin to take shape, forming constellations that seem familiar yet distant. You realize that each of these stars is not just a distant light in the sky, but a parallel reality, a version of yourself living out a different life, a different fate. Perhaps, in this moment, you are touching the edges of those realities, floating between them like a traveler moving through the expanse of the universe. Each star represents a different version of you, living a different life in a parallel world, and you are free to move between them, to explore the infinite possibilities of who you could be. The sensation is both humbling and liberating as you realize that you are not bound to any one version of yourself. In this space, in this dream, you are free to explore every version of you, every possibility that exists within the vast expanse of time and space. There is no limit to where you can go, no boundary that confines you. You are free to float, to drift, to explore the infinite expanse of the universe and the many versions of yourself that exist within it. As you continue your journey, you begin to wonder, what if this weightless journey is not just a dream, but a reflection of the true nature of reality? What if, in this state of weightlessness, you are not just exploring your dreams, but experiencing the very fabric of the multiverse itself? Could it be that in this state of freedom, you are touching the lives of countless versions of yourself, each one existing in a different parallel universe, each one a different path, a different possibility? That thought continues to swirl around you like the stars themselves, soft and infinite. And as you float through the vastness of the dream, you realize that this journey, this weightless experience, is not just about exploring the dreamscape, but about understanding the infinite potential of who you are, who you could be, and the infinite worlds that exist just beyond the veil of sleep. You are free free to explore the vast expanse of the multiverse, free to drift between worlds, between possibilities, without fear or limitation. And in that freedom, you begin to understand that this weightless journey is not just a dream. It is a glimpse into the infinite possibilities that lie ahead, a reminder that in this space, in this dream, you are both the traveler and the destination, the journey and the arrival. You find yourself standing at the edge of a vast, invisible web, stretched out before you like a tapestry woven from countless threads. Each thread seems to pulse with its own rhythm, a faint shimmer of light that flickers and fades, appearing and disappearing like the soft glow of distant stars. The web is both delicate and strong, a network of connections that stretches infinitely in every direction, weaving together all things, all worlds, all lives, all possibilities. You reach out to touch one of the threads, and as your fingers make contact, the thread hums gently, vibrating with an energy you can feel deep within your chest. It is not a physical sensation, but something deeper, a resonance that moves through you, a subtle reminder that everything is interconnected, bound together by invisible forces. The moment you touch the thread, you realize that you are not just feeling the thread itself, but the world it leads to, the reality it represents, the life it unfolds. Each thread in this vast web represents a different version of yourself, a different reality, a different path you could have taken. Some threads are familiar, like echoes of lives you've already lived, while others are new, mysterious, and unknown, stretching out into realms you have yet to explore. What if every decision you've made, every choice, every action has created a thread in this vast network of existence? What if each of these threads represents a parallel universe, a reality where a different version of you is living a different life, making different choices, and experiencing different outcomes? You begin to notice something extraordinary. As you pull on one of the threads, the whole web shifts gently, almost imperceptibly. The entire network of threads responds to your touch, vibrating with new energy, creating ripples that travel outward, touching other threads, other realities. It's as though your actions in this dream space are not just influencing the dream itself, but the very fabric of existence. Every movement, every thought, every breath you take is connected to the rest of the universe, shaping the lives of countless versions of yourself, creating an endless dance of possibilities. You wonder, what if this web is the true nature of the multiverse? A vast network of interconnected realities, where every decision creates a new thread, a new life, a new version of you. Each version of yourself exists within this web, each one living out a different story, each one making different choices, and each one reflecting a different path you could have taken. The threads are all intertwined, each one affecting the others, like a web of infinite possibilities. As you continue to explore this web, you notice that some threads are thicker, more vibrant, while others are thin and fragile, barely visible. In the vastness of the dream, you wonder what makes one thread stronger than another. What gives some threads more significance than others? Are these the paths you've walked in your waking life, the choices that have led you to where you are today? Or are they the threads of potential, the unexplored paths that you have yet to take? The thought lingers, gentle yet powerful. What If the threads are not just a reflection of your past or your present, but of your future as well, could it be that every thread, every decision, every possibility that exists in the web of reality is both a reflection of who you are and who you are becoming? What if, in this dream, you are not just an observer of these threads, but an active participant in their creation, shaping your own destiny with every choice you make? You step closer to the center of the web, where the threads converge, and feel the pull of the connections between them. It is as though you are standing at the heart of the multiverse, the center of an endless network of realities, each one a reflection of who you could be, who you might become. The threads radiate outwards from this point, stretching into infinity, each one an extension of your own journey, each one a different version of yourself, living out a different fate. Between them, the unseen ties that bind them together, the subtle threads that weave their way through the very fabric of the universe. Every choice you make, every action you take, sends ripples through the web, shaping the lives of countless versions of yourself, creating new possibilities with each step. The more you explore, the more you understand. This web is not just a network of parallel universes, but the very essence of existence itself. Every thread represents a life, a path, a possibility, and all are interconnected. All are part of the same grand tapestry. You are not just an observer, you are a creator, shaping the threads of reality with every thought, every decision, every moment of your life. As you stand at the center of this vast web, you feel a deep sense of connection to everything around you, to all the versions of yourself, to all the lives you could have lived, to all the possibilities that exist within this infinite web. You are a part of something much larger than yourself, and in this dream, you have the power to shape your own path, to weave new threads into the tapestry of existence, to explore the infinite possibilities that lie just beyond the veil of reality. And, with that realization, you stand still for a moment, allowing the web to settle around you, the threads vibrating softly in the stillness. You realize that, in this space, in this dream, you are both the dreamer and the creator, both the one who walks the path and the one who shapes it. Every choice you make, every thread you touch, is part of the infinite dance of the multiverse. A reminder that you are not just a passenger in this journey. You are the one steering the ship, the one weaving the threads of reality itself. You stand in the quiet stillness of the dream, aware of the vastness that surrounds you. This world, like all others, is shaped by your presence, by the energy of your thoughts. But now you sense something more, something deeper, something infinite. The very fabric of the dream seems to pulse with a hidden rhythm, like the beating of a heart, the gentle hum of the universe itself. It is a reminder that you are not merely an observer here, but a participant in something far larger than yourself. As you move through this vast dreamscape, you realize that the boundaries of your own mind are dissolving. The space around you is no longer confined to the limits of your perception. It is expanding, stretching outward like a vast ocean, a mind that knows no end. You are not simply traveling through this world. You are becoming part of it, with it, as though your thoughts are weaving themselves into the very fabric of reality. What if the mind is not a solitary space, but a vast, interconnected field, a limitless expanse that stretches across time and space? What if your consciousness in this dream is not confined to your body, but is instead a part of the infinite web of existence, a thread that connects you to every version of yourself, every parallel reality? Could it be that the mind is not just a tool for processing thoughts and experiences, but a gateway to the infinite possibilities that lie within the multiverse? You feel a deep sense of peace as you contemplate this thought. The mind, you realize, is not just a vessel for thoughts and memories. It is a portal, a doorway through which you can access countless realities, each one waiting for you to step through. And in this moment, in this dream, you feel the vastness of it all, the infinite potential of the mind, the boundless possibilities that exist within it. As you continue to walk through this dream, you notice that the world around you is shifting, becoming more fluid, more malleable. The landscape no longer feels fixed. It seems to bend and stretch with your every thought, adapting to the energy of your mind. This is not just a dream, it is a manifestation of your consciousness, a reflection of the infinite potential within you. You are both the creator and the created, both the dreamer and the dreamed. The sensation is overwhelming, yet deeply calming. You begin to realize that the mind is not just a singular experience, but a vast, interconnected network, one that spans across infinite realities. Every thought, every decision you make sends ripples through this network, creating new pathways, new possibilities, new worlds. Your mind, it seems, is a reflection of the universe itself, boundless, ever-expanding, and filled with infinite potential. What if the very act of dreaming is the mind's way of exploring the multiverse? What if, in this dream, you are not just traveling through a single reality, but experiencing the countless versions of yourself that exist across time and space? Perhaps, in the stillness of sleep, the mind is free to wander, to explore the infinite possibilities that lie within the fabric of existence. Each dream, each experience, is a doorway to a new version of you, a new reality, a new life. As you move through the dream, you notice that the boundaries between the dream and the waking world are becoming increasingly blurred. The edges of the dream are no longer distinct. They fade into one another, as if the dream itself is folding into the waking world, and the waking world is folding into the dream. Time and space no longer feel fixed. They are fluid, ever-changing, just as the mind itself is fluid, ever-expanding. Could it be that this is the true nature of the mind, not confined to a single body, a single moment in time, but a vast, infinite field that stretches across the multiverse? In this dream, you are not just an individual experiencing a single reality. You are the mind itself, the consciousness that spans across countless worlds, each one a reflection of your thoughts, your choices, your potential. You pause for a moment, feeling the vastness of this realization settle around you. The mind is not just a tool for understanding the world. It is a doorway, a portal through which you can explore the infinite possibilities that exist within the multiverse. Each thought, each dream is a key that unlocks a new reality, a new version of yourself, a new world waiting to be discovered. And as you drift deeper into the dream, you realize that the infinite mind is not just a concept, but a reality. You are a part of it, as vast and as infinite as the universe itself. In this space, in this dream, there are no boundaries, no limitations. There are only infinite possibilities, each one waiting for you to step through, to explore, to experience. The thought lingers softly in your mind as you drift further into the dream. Perhaps the greatest gift of the mind is not just the ability to dream, but the ability to create, to shape reality, to explore the infinite possibilities of who you could be, who you are, and who you might yet become. The dream softens around you like a blanket, its edges blurring with the quiet hum of existence. There is no rush here, no urgency. The world around you moves with the slow rhythm of a heartbeat, and as you walk, you feel a gentle pull toward something just beyond your awareness, something you cannot yet see, but know is there. It is not a force, not an overwhelming pull, but a subtle nudge, a call that you cannot ignore. As you move forward through the dream, you notice that the space around you is changing. The air is lighter, the colors more vibrant, and the sky above seems to shimmer with a soft, ethereal glow. The pull becomes stronger, drawing you toward a distant point, like a compass needle that always knows its true north. You can feel it in the way the dream shifts, as though the very fabric of the universe is guiding you, leading you toward something important, something you have yet to understand. You pause for a moment, allowing yourself to feel this pull fully. It is not the force of gravity that tugs at you, nor the weight of time that presses upon you. It is something deeper, something gentler, like the hand of the universe itself reaching out to guide you. And in that moment, you realize that this pull is not random, it is purposeful. It is as if the dream is not just a passive experience, but a journey that leads you toward an understanding that lies just beyond the veil. The thought stirs within you. What if this pull is a guide leading you toward a deeper truth? What if, in this dream, you are not just wandering through a random landscape, but following a path laid out before you, a path that will lead you to an understanding of the infinite possibilities that lie within the multiverse? Perhaps this pull is not just a part of the dream, but a part of you, the deep, quiet knowing that guides you toward the truth of who you are and who you could become. As you follow this gentle pull, the landscape around you begins to change again. The world shifts, becoming more fluid, more dreamlike. The air grows warmer, and the ground beneath you seems to ripple like water. You are no longer walking on solid earth, but floating above it, carried by the pull of the universe. It is as though the boundaries of reality are dissolving, and you are becoming one with the dream itself, moving through it as easily as a thought moves through the mind. The gentle pull is still there, guiding you forward, and as you move through the dream, you begin to notice something else. You are not alone. There are others traveling alongside you in this dreamscape. You cannot see them clearly, but you sense their presence. They are like silent travelers, each one following their own pull, their own journey through the multiverse. They are not part of your reality, not part of your life, yet they are here, moving through their own worlds, experiencing their own dreams. You wonder for a moment if they feel the same pull you do, if they, too, are being guided toward something, some truth, some understanding that lies just beyond the reach of the waking world. What if, in this space between wakefulness and sleep, we are all connected, all moving toward the same destination, yet each traveling our own unique path? What if the pull you feel is not just your own, but the shared pull of all the dreamers, all the travelers who journey through the parallel universes of the mind. And in that moment, as you walk through the dream, you realize something profound. This pull, this gentle nudge, is not just a guide. It is the very essence of the multiverse itself, calling you to step into the infinite possibilities that lie ahead. The pull is not a force of destiny, but a force of creation. It is the universe inviting you to explore the endless paths that exist within you, to step beyond the boundaries of your waking life and into the lives of countless versions of yourself. As you continue to move forward, you feel a sense of peace settle over you. There is no rush, no need to hurry. The pull is there, guiding you gently toward what is meant to be, and you trust it. You trust that this journey is not random, but purposeful. You trust that the path you are on is leading you toward an understanding that will reveal the true nature of existence, the true nature of the multiverse. The dream grows quieter now, the pull becoming more subtle, more like a soft whisper in the distance. You are no longer sure where you are going, but you know that you are meant to go there. The landscape around you continues to shift, but you are no longer distracted by its changing forms. Instead, you are focused inward, feeling the pull deep within your soul, knowing that it is leading you toward something you cannot yet see, but feel with every part of your being. And as the dream fades gently, you are left with the thought that lingers like a quiet echo, perhaps in this space between sleep and wakefulness. We are all being guided, pulled toward the infinite possibilities of who we could be, who we are meant to be, and perhaps, in the end, the greatest gift of dreams is not just the journey itself, but the understanding that we are all part of something much larger, much more profound than we can ever imagine. The dream opens before you like the pages of a book, blank and waiting to be filled. You stand at the beginning of an unwritten story, the ink not yet spilled, the words not yet formed. In this space, there are no constraints, no limits. The world around you is a blank canvas, ready to be shaped by your thoughts, your desires, your deepest questions. For a moment, you simply stand there, looking out at the vast emptiness. It is not empty in the way the waking world would define it. It is full of potential, full of possibility. The space is alive with the hum of creation, like the stillness of a forest before the dawn, when the earth is waiting to burst forth with life. You sense the weight of the dream around you, not as something static, but as something alive, breathing, waiting for you to take the first step. As you stand there, feeling the vastness of the moment, the thought comes to you: what if this dream, this blank space, is not just an empty world, but a story waiting to be written? What if, in this moment, you are not just a traveler moving through a dream, but the author of it, the creator of its narrative? Every step you take, every thought you have, adds a new word to the story, a new sentence, a new chapter. You begin to walk slowly at first, and with each step, the world around you shifts. The blank page begins to fill with the outlines of shapes, the faintest hints of structure. The ground beneath your feet becomes solid, and the sky above takes on the soft hues of a sunset, stretching wide and infinite. The landscape takes form, slowly and deliberately, like the rise of a new day. You realize that you are not just witnessing this world come to life, you are creating it. Each thought you have spins new threads, weaving them into the fabric of the dream. A thought of a distant place forms the mountains in the distance. A fleeting memory brings a tree to life, its leaves fluttering softly in the breeze. As you move through this space, you see that every element of the dream is a reflection of your own mind, your own desires, your own imagination. The landscape is shaped by your will, by your inner world, and it is alive with the energy of creation. As you walk, you realize that the dream is not just a place of imagination, but a place of possibility. Every choice you make, every action you take, opens new doors, writes new chapters in the story of this world. It is as though you are living a parallel life, one where the boundaries of time and space are not fixed, and where you have the power to shape your own narrative. In this space, there are no rules, only the infinite potential of who you could be, who you are becoming. The thought lingers gently in your mind. What if this is not just a dream, but a reflection of your own life, your own potential? What if, in this space, you are writing the story of your own existence, not just for this dream, but for every version of yourself that exists across parallel universes? Could this be the true nature of dreams? A place where the unwritten story of your life takes shape, where every choice you make, every direction you choose, creates a new reality, a new world. As you continue to walk through the dream, you see the world shifting around you, evolving with each step you take. The dreamscape is no longer a blank canvas, but a living story unfolding with every thought, every breath. It is a world that is uniquely yours, shaped by your deepest desires and your quietest fears. The landscape is alive with the energy of creation, and as you walk, you realize that you are not just a part of this world, but the creator of it. The further you walk, the more the story unfolds. The paths before you are lined with possibilities, each one leading to a different chapter, a different life. You can feel the weight of every decision, every turn you take, as though each one is writing a new page in the book of your existence. The story is yours to tell, and as you move through it, you realize that there is no end, only an endless series of chapters, each one leading to another, each one offering a new beginning, a new world. And in that realization, you are filled with a quiet sense of wonder. Perhaps, in this dream, you are not just observing the story of your life, but creating it. Every moment, every decision, every path you take is a brushstroke in the masterpiece of your existence. The story is not written for you. It is written by you, shaped by your will, your thoughts, your essence. In this space, in this dream, you are both the dreamer and the author, both the observer and the creator. You stop for a moment, feeling the weight of this realization settle in your chest. You are not bound by the past, not limited by the future. In this space, in this dream, you are free to write your own story, to explore the infinite possibilities that lie ahead. The world around you is waiting, and you are ready to step into it, to create the life, the reality, and the dream you've always imagined. And as you stand there, poised to continue your journey, you realize that the greatest gift of dreams is not just the chance to explore the infinite possibilities of who you could be, but the power to create the story of your life. A story that stretches across time and space, unfolding in endless chapters, each one a new beginning, each one a new world. You stand at the edge of a vast, undisturbed landscape. The world before you, shimmering softly in the half-light of the dream. The air is still, and yet there is a palpable energy in the atmosphere, as though the entire world is holding its breath, waiting for you to notice. This place is familiar, but at the same time, it feels new, like the first glance of a memory you haven't quite recalled. There's a softness to it, a quietness, as if the boundaries of reality are just a whisper away from fading. The world around you is not rigid or fixed. It seems to shift with the slightest movement, like a mirage, constantly changing shape and form. The landscape flows with fluidity, as though it is part of the very fabric of perception, shaped by the mind itself. It is as though you are standing at the threshold of something much larger, something beyond your understanding. A realm where what you see is not always what is real, where the world is shaped not by what is in front of you, but by the way you choose to see it. You realize then, with a gentle wave of awareness, that you are standing at the intersection of two worlds. One is the dream world you are currently inhabiting, and the other is the waking world you know so well. Between them lies a veil, a thin boundary that separates what is seen from what is unseen. But this veil is not a wall. It is a translucent fabric, shifting with each movement, each breath you take. In this space, the line between what is real and what is imagined blurs, like the horizon where the sky touches the sea. Indistinct, infinite dot. As you step forward, you feel a strange sensation, a quiet tug at the edges of your awareness. It is as though the dream is reaching out to you, beckoning you to see beyond the veil, to look deeper, to understand the mysteries that lie just beyond perception. You pause, feeling the weight of this invitation, and as you do, you begin to wonder, what if this veil is not just an illusion, but a doorway to another way of seeing, another reality? Could it be that the boundary between the waking world and the dream world is not as fixed as you once believed? Could it be that, in dreams, you are not just experiencing a parallel reality, but peering into the very essence of what is real? Perhaps this veil, this delicate boundary between worlds, is not a limitation, but an invitation to explore the full potential of your perception, to see the world not just as it appears, but as it truly is. As you move forward through the shifting landscape, the veil becomes more apparent. It is not a physical object, but a subtle force, a layer of perception that shapes how you view the world. It is as if the dream world is not just a place you visit in sleep, but a reflection of how your mind shapes reality itself. The veil is the filter through which you perceive not only this dream, but the waking world as well. It is the lens through which you view your own existence, your own life, and everything around you. What if this veil, this layer of perception, is not just a passive barrier, but an active participant in the creation of reality? What if the way you perceive the world, the way you experience your life, is not fixed, but constantly shifting, like the dream itself? In this moment, as you stand at the edge of this place, you realize that the veil is not just an external force, it is an internal one, shaped by your thoughts, your beliefs, and your experiences. It is the filter through which you interact with the world, and in the dream, it is revealing its true nature to you. As you continue to move through the dream, you begin to understand the veil is not something that separates you from reality, but something that connects you to it. It is the space between the known and the unknown, between the waking world and the world of dreams. And in this space, you are not just a passive observer. You are an active participant, shaping the way you see the world, shaping the way you experience reality itself. The dream continues to unfold, the veil growing thinner with each step you take. And as you move through it, you begin to see something extraordinary. The world around you is not just a reflection of your mind, but a mirror of your perception. The landscape shifts and changes, but it does so in response to your awareness, to the way you choose to see it. Every step you take, every thought you have, is shaping the reality around you, bending it to your will, creating new possibilities, new worlds. You realize that in this space, you are not just experiencing a dream, you are creating it. The veil is not a barrier to be crossed, but a tool to be used, a way to see beyond the limitations of the waking world and explore the infinite potential of your own mind. The dream is not a passive experience, but an active journey of creation, a space where perception is malleable, where reality is shaped by the way you choose to see it. And in that realization, you feel a deep sense of peace, of knowing that you are not bound by the constraints of the waking world, not limited by the rules of time and space. In this space, in this dream, you are free to explore the infinite possibilities of who you could be, who you are, and who you might yet become. The thought lingers softly in your mind as the dream continues. Perhaps the greatest gift of dreams is not just the ability to escape reality, but the ability to see it with new eyes, to see beyond the veil of perception and understand the infinite potential that lies within us all. The dream begins as a soft, undulating rhythm, like the pulse of a heartbeat or the slow ebb and flow of the tide. You stand in the center of this vast, shifting space, surrounded by the gentle hum of existence. The world around you feels alive, not in the way you are accustomed to, but in a way that transcends physical sensation. There is no concrete form here, only the flow of energy, a cosmic dance that is both chaotic and harmonious, unpredictable yet deliberate as you breathe. You feel the rhythm of the universe move through you, as though your very breath is a part of this larger dance. It is a dance that does not require understanding or direction. It simply is. And in this moment, you realize that you, too, are part of this cosmic rhythm, moving through time and space as a dancer moves across the floor, flowing with the music, guided by forces unseen. The thought arises softly within you. What if life itself is nothing more than this? A dance between choices and consequences, between action and stillness, between the known and the unknown. Perhaps in the grand scheme of the universe, all existence is like this cosmic dance, an ever-shifting, ever-evolving pattern that flows endlessly, with each step contributing to the larger rhythm of creation. Every thought, every choice, every movement, they are all part of the dance, echoing through the multiverse, shaping the realities of countless versions of yourself and the infinite possibilities that lie within them. As you stand there, feeling the pulse of the dance, around you, the space begins to shift, taking on new forms, new patterns. The air becomes thicker, more vibrant, and the ground beneath your feet is no longer solid. You are floating now, moving effortlessly through the dream, carried by the flow of the cosmic rhythm. It is as if you are not walking, but gliding through the fabric of reality itself, each movement perfectly in sync with the universal pulse. You wonder, what if this dance is not random, but a carefully orchestrated movement of existence, where every step is part of a larger design. Could it be that all of creation, the universe, the multiverse, and everything within it is part of this grand dance? Each life, each dream, each parallel reality moving to its own rhythm, yet somehow connected to the others, all part of a single, infinite pattern. As the dream continues, you begin to see the connections more clearly. The dance is not just a personal experience, but a collective one, shared by all things. Each version of yourself, each parallel reality, is a dancer in this cosmic performance, moving through its own space, its own rhythm. And yet, as you float through the dream, you begin to understand that all of these dancers are connected, bound together by the same universal pulse. Every movement, every choice ripples outward, creating patterns that overlap, intertwine, and create new paths, new possibilities. The idea begins to settle within you. Perhaps we are not isolated beings moving through the universe alone. Perhaps we are all part of this cosmic dance, each of us moving through our own versions of reality, but all of us interconnected, all of us contributing to the larger pattern of existence. The boundaries between self and other begin to dissolve, and you realize that in this space, in this dream, you are not just an individual, but a part of something far greater, something infinite, eternal, and ever-evolving. You continue to float through the dream, now completely immersed in the rhythm of the dance. The world around you shifts with each beat, the colors, the sounds, and the sensations blending together in perfect harmony. You are no longer just a passive participant, but an active creator in this cosmic performance. Every thought, every action you take sends ripples through the dream, shaping the rhythm, creating new patterns, new possibilities. The dance is not fixed, not predetermined. It is constantly evolving, constantly shifting, as you and all the other dancers contribute to the flow of existence. In that moment, you realize something profound. This dance is not just about movement, but about balance. It is the balance between the known and the unknown, between action and stillness, between light and dark. Every step you take, every choice you make, contributes to the harmony of the dance. And in this way, you are not separate from the universe, but a part of it, an integral note in the symphony of existence. The thought lingers softly, like the final note of a song that echoes in the stillness. Perhaps the true nature of existence is not something to be understood, but something to be experienced, a cosmic dance that flows through us all, connecting us to the infinite possibilities of the multiverse, guiding us toward a greater understanding of who we are, who we could be, and the infinite worlds that lie ahead. As the dream continues to unfold, you find yourself standing on the precipice of something vast, something beyond the reach of your understanding. The space before you stretches infinitely, a landscape that holds no boundaries, no end. Is calm, but filled with a quiet energy that hums with life, as though the very essence of existence is flowing through you, connecting you to everything and everyone around you. You look down and realize that you are no longer just one version of yourself, but the infinite reflection of every version you have ever been and every version you will ever become. There is no limit to the number of possibilities that lie within you, no end to the lives you could live, the paths you could take. In this moment, you are everything and nothing, a single point in a vast, interconnected web of existence. As you stand there, a deep sense of peace washes over you, as if you are coming to an understanding that transcends the boundaries of time and space. What if you are not just a single solitary being? What if, in truth, you are the infinite you, existing across countless parallel universes, each one a reflection of a different possibility, a different choice? Every life, every path you have ever taken is a thread in the larger tapestry of existence, and in this space, you are both the dreamer and the dreamed, both the creator and the created. The thought settles softly within you, like the final note of a symphony. Perhaps the true nature of who you are is not something that can be defined in a single moment, a single life, a single reality. Perhaps you are the infinite version of yourself, spread across time and space, living out countless possibilities. In parallel universes, every decision, every choice, every action you take ripples out into the fabric of existence, creating new worlds, new lives, new versions of you. You begin to understand this dream, this journey through the multiverse is not just about exploring different realities. It is about discovering the infinite potential within you, the infinite versions of yourself that exist, each one shaped by the choices you make, the paths you take, the lives you lead. As you move through this dreamscape, you begin to feel the pull of all the versions of yourself that exist, each one living its own life in a parallel universe. Some are familiar, like echoes of your own experience, while others are completely unknown, each one living out a different possibility, a different version of your life. The connection between you and these versions is subtle but undeniable. Each one is a part of you, a reflection of who you are, who you could be, and who you might become. You realize that in this moment, you are not just observing these parallel versions of yourself. You are them. You are the infinite you, existing across countless worlds, each one shaped by the choices you have made, the paths you have taken. Every life you could have lived, every possibility you have ever dreamed of, exists within you. And in this space, you are free to explore them all. The dream begins to fade gently, the edges softening as you drift toward the quiet of sleep. The infinite you remains, a quiet presence within you, waiting for the next journey, the next exploration, the next possibility. You feel the gentle pull of all the lives that are yet to come, all the versions of yourself that are still waiting to be discovered. And as you drift deeper into the dream, you are left with the thought that lingers softly in your mind. Perhaps the greatest mystery of the multiverse is not that there are infinite versions of you, but that you are the dreamer of all of them, the creator, the observer, and the lived experience of your own existence. And in the vastness of it all, you are infinite, eternal, and ever-evolving, always becoming who you are meant to be.